Welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Superman Comics number 134, published in January 1960, with story by Otto Binder and art by Wayne Boring. This is Chapter 3. Reduced to the tiny size and robbed of his power, Superman seems trapped in Kandor, the miniature city in the bottle. Only one desperate plan offers hope to the non-Superman of Steel, and success or failure hangs by an eyelash as Superman finally faces his vengeful enemy Kull-Ex in the Duel of the Supermen. Just in case you ever escape from the tiny Krypton city in a bottle, I'll wreck your robots. Then you can't use them against me. Great Scott! The heat of his X-ray vision blew out the motors of my robots. There goes my last hope of defeating Kull-Ex, my impersonator. So he sees that Kull-Ex is just ruining his reputation, and Supergirl discovers it on the radio. Can it be true? Has my cousin Superman gone mad? I'll change to my Supergirl costume and find out the truth. So she heads out and finds the Madman of Steel wrecking the Egyptian pyramids and the Sphinx. And she tries to convince Superman to calm down. It's a girl with superpowers like me. Then you too must have come from Kandor, the tiny Krypton in a city in a bottle. But I didn't come from Kandor. You must be an impostor. If you were the real Superman, you would know I'm your cousin. And then she goes through her whole backstory. I'm not sure why. And then asks him why he's doing what he's doing. In revenge for how his father Jor-El cheated my father Zelex, I'll tell you my story. And then so he tells the whole story, but he just lets her go. I won't stop you. Go ahead, silly girl. You'll find out it won't do any good. So she goes to the Fortress of Solitude and uses some long tweezers to pluck Superman out, or Kal-El out of Kandor. And then he has his superpowers again, but he is very tiny. So, there may be one way to defeat Kull-Ex. I'll whisper in your ear so Kull-Ex can't pick this up with his super hearing. Listen, Supergirl. Bzz, bzz, bzz. So he comes up with a plan, and when Kull-Ex visits the Fortress of Solitude, he says, "So, Supergirl freed you from the bottle, Superman, but you can't regain normal size. The exchange ray won't work without element xenium, which doesn't exist on Earth. Now, out of my way, Superbug. I came back to repair my special face mask so I can impersonate you some more. Try and stop me if you can. Haha. I can't. No more than an ant could stop an elephant." So the first thing he does is he goes and grabs a couple coins and clangs them in Kull-Ex's ear. Bah! If you're trying to annoy me, Superman, my superheroes can stand any super sound you make. The next thing he does is opens up this box of kryptonite specks. Why am I suddenly weak and dizzy? And then he shuts the box. Aha, so it was another trick of yours, Superman. Thanks for showing me that kryptonite. Now I'll fix you. So he puts on this mask and then sprays tiny Superman with this kryptonite spray. This kryptonite powder spray got that bug of steel down. He flops into that leaden box I opened. And so this speck of kryptonite is as big as a boulder, which I don't think would be true given the size of Kal-El. But Kal-El says, Kull-Ex, open observation dome of fortress, big surprise. And he discovers that he is millions of miles away from Earth. I don't think Earth would look that big if he were millions of miles. I could be wrong. My fortress is being flown faster than light by Supergirl and Crypto, my super dog. So the whole plan was it was a bit of a distraction. Using the coins, super noise covered up the sounds of the fortress being first ripped loose on Earth, and Superman made Kull-Ex sway so that he wouldn't notice the sharp turn Crypto and I had to make past a planet in our way. So they're going faster than the speed of light, which obviously is not physically possible. I kind of accept that Superman can move faster than the speed of light because I guess his body is something beyond physics, but why would the Fortress of Solitude also be able to? But putting that aside, I did a little bit of research. If you were to move at the or accelerate at the rate of 1g, which is the gravity of Earth, it would take an entire year to get up to the speed of light. So this obviously would be ludicrous from a physics standpoint. But they are going so fast they can. They are moving. They are able to look back in time because they've caught up to light rays, so they can see exactly what happened that day when Jor-El supposedly stole his plans. They flew out the window. It's just like my ultra scanning screen showed you before, Superman. The suction of the wind machine pulled the blueprint for his vehicle out the window along with those papers. Oh yeah, I tell you, I don't really like this whole thing. I know they use it a lot in the Silver Age of being able to basically see in the past by outracing light rays. No, Kull-Ex, I'm watching too, and my hunch was right. Take a look at that paper which you as a child had taken only a moment ago from your father's desk. So it turns out Kull-Ex had accidentally drawn a picture on his father's blueprint, which apparently the blueprint was just a single page. And then he accidentally fed it to this junk eater. So Jor-El apparently just simultaneously came up with a very similar invention. Then Jor-El never saw that blueprint and invented the Jor-El vehicle himself. My father mistakenly sought revenge. Superman, you're limp, unmoving, dead. No, I just blacked out, Kull-Ex. I am recovering now. So he's okay. And I must also allow Superman to regain his normal size. Every element exists somewhere in space, and I see a nugget of element xenium embedded in that meteor. I'll get it. How fortuitous. And so, after impersonating tiny Superman in the miniature city of Kandor, I impersonated him, or imprisoning, and then I impersonated him and pretended your great hero had gone mad. What a relief. Kull-Ex confession clears Superman's name. I carried the nugget of xenium along and put it in the power unit of the exchange ray. Now it will pull us through Dimension X and make us switch places. I'm back to normal size, back in my own super uniform, and Kull-Ex is tiny again, back in Kandor. I'll pick up the voice with my super hearing. I'm your enemy no longer, Superman. I'll devote the rest of my life to science research that will benefit my people. Farewell. We'll raise all those statues that were overturned, but where's Superman? I'll keep under cover. As Clark Kent, they would parade me for days if I were crazy enough to show up. So I like the story. Putting the very dubious physics aside, I think it's a good story, a good three-parter. Certainly better than some other ones that I've recently read. So I like that one.